What if your next breakthrough wasn't in a book, a podcast, or even a plan, but in a number? Not just any number, but one that holds ancient spiritual energy, aligned with Buddhist wisdom and the flow of the universe. Most people chase wealth outwardly, but ignore the silent codes that shape life itself. Today we'll explore 6 sacred numbers, each infused with deep symbolic power, chosen to guide you toward prosperity, clarity, and inner peace on Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. This isn't just about lucky numbers to win the lottery. It's about learning how to align with your purpose and open new pathways of abundance. Because real fortune doesn't come from random chance. It begins when your energy, values, and direction are in sync. So take a deep breath. You're here for a reason. Before we begin, give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on powerful insights ahead. And here's a simple challenge. Comment below. I welcome growth and harmony into my life. It's more than just words. It's your first step toward transformation. Let's get started. Part 1. Number 9. The power of completion and transformation. The number 9 isn't just a number. It's a message, a symbol of endings, of tying loose threads, of completing chapters that have been left open for too long. In Buddhist philosophy, the number 9 represents the 9 stages of meditation, a journey that moves from scattered thoughts to deep, unwavering clarity. Each stage builds upon the last, not by rushing to a goal, but by allowing stillness to reveal truth. The number 9 tells us, it's time to finish what you started. We live in a world obsessed with starting new things, new goals, new habits, new dreams. But what about the things we've left half done? The unfinished conversations, the paused projects, the old versions of ourselves waiting for closure? Let me share a story of transformation. Michael was 67, retired and restless. Decades earlier, he had started writing a novel, something deeply personal. But life got in the way. Kids, career, responsibilities. He never finished it. One rainy afternoon, cleaning out his attic, he found the old manuscript. Yellowed, dusty, but alive. He made a choice. Finish it. Not for fame, not for money, but to honor the part of himself that had been paused for 40 years. It took him 3 months. Quiet mornings, long afternoons, tea and memory. When he typed the final sentence, he didn't cry. He smiled, not because he had written a masterpiece, but because he had closed a circle. That act of completion transformed him. He walked lighter, slept deeper, smiled more. He hadn't just finished a book. He had released a version of himself that had been waiting to be seen. Buddhist insight. In the final stage of meditation, the practitioner no longer chases silence or fights distraction. They rest in stillness, having let go of the need to control. This is the essence of 9. Completion not through force, but through surrender. Endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. The Buddha. So ask yourself, what have you left incomplete in your life? What stories, promises, or dreams are waiting for closure? Maybe it's not a novel. Maybe it's a phone call, a letter, a long overdue apology, or even forgiving yourself. Because every ending carries a seed of transformation, and the number 9 reminds us, only when we close old doors can new ones open fully. Part 2. Number 8. Living with purpose through the Noble Eightfold Path. The number 8 is more than symmetry and balance. It's a spiritual compass. In Buddhism, the Noble Eightfold Path is the heart of the practice. It's not a checklist, but a way of living that leads to freedom from suffering. It teaches us to live with clarity, intention, and compassion, not just in temples but in traffic, at work, in our relationships, and within our own minds. Let's break it down. Right view, seeing reality as it truly is. Right intention, choosing thoughts rooted in kindness and wisdom. Right speech, speaking truthfully and with care. Right action, behaving ethically and respectfully. Right livelihood, earning a living in ways that don't harm others. Right effort, putting energy into what truly matters. Right mindfulness, being fully present in each moment. Right concentration, focusing the mind on what brings insight. These 8 elements aren't separate steps. They're a circle, a lifestyle. And the number 8 reminds us to live with intention, not just ambition. Let me share a story of quiet transformation. Angela, a single mother of 2, used to live in chaos. She worked 3 jobs, barely slept, and often snapped at her kids. Life was survival, not living. One day, after a particularly harsh argument with her daughter, she broke down. She realized she wasn't just exhausted. She was disconnected from herself, from her purpose, from peace. That night, she searched online for how to feel less angry and stumbled upon a video about right speech. Just one line hit her. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. The Buddha. She began with small changes, watching her tone, listening more, speaking less. Then she added right effort. She stopped spreading herself thin, quit one toxic job, and focused on being present for her kids, even if it meant earning less for a while. Months passed. Her home felt calmer. Her children began to open up again. And for the first time in years, Angela felt like she was living, not just surviving. Her bank account didn't explode, but her soul did. And that was the wealth she truly needed. Modern wisdom. In a world chasing success, the Eightfold Path calls us to pause and align. It asks, are you living with integrity? Is your energy going toward growth or burnout? Do your words heal or harm? The number 8 is a sacred reminder that real prosperity doesn't come from speed, but from right direction. True wealth is a life built on ethics, mindfulness, and compassion. And when you walk this path with heart, the world opens in return. Part 3. Number 7. The 7 factors of enlightenment. The number 7 has always carried deep spiritual significance across cultures. But in Buddhism, it represents something profound. The 7 factors of enlightenment. 7 inner qualities that, when nurtured, lead us toward awakening and deep peace. They are mindfulness, sati, investigation, dhamma vikaya, energy, virya, joy, piti, tranquility, passaddhi, concentration, samadhi, equanimity, upekkha. Let's explore how these show up in daily life. Practical wisdom in everyday life. Mindfulness is being present while washing dishes, walking, or cooking a meal, feeling the water, the warmth, the rhythm. Investigation is asking yourself honest questions. Why do I react this way? What triggers me? It's self-inquiry without judgment. Energy isn't about working harder. It's about channeling your effort into what nourishes your spirit. Joy can be as simple as noticing the sun on your face or a child's laughter. It's found, not forced. Tranquility is the calm that comes when we stop fighting what is. Concentration is focusing on one thing at a time. Reading, listening, or simply breathing without distraction. Equanimity is maintaining calm in chaos, not because life is easy, but because your mind is steady. Let me share a story of silent strength. Mrs. Maya, 72, was diagnosed with late-stage cancer. The pain was constant. Her body was tired, her future uncertain. But every morning before the nurses came in, she sat up in bed, closed her eyes, and meditated. No music, no apps, just breath, just awareness. When asked why she did it, she smiled and said, "Pain lives in the body, but peace lives in the mind. I can't always control the first, but I choose the second." She wasn't denying her pain. She faced it with grace. Through mindfulness, she stayed grounded. Through investigation, she understood her fears. Through energy, she committed to her practice even on weekdays. Through joy, she appreciated the nurse's kindness. Through tranquility, she softened her resistance. Through concentration, she returned to the breath. And through equanimity, she remained at peace, even in the storm. Her strength didn't come from fighting. It came from surrendering with awareness. The real lesson: inner peace isn't the absence of pain, it's the presence of perspective. The number 7 reminds us that true awakening isn't reserved for monks or saints. It's available to anyone willing to practice, to pause, and to perceive life with clear eyes. As you reflect today, ask yourself, which of these 7 qualities can I nurture a little more? Because with every small act of mindfulness, every effort to stay balanced, you walk closer to peace, one breath at a time. Part 4. Number 5. The 5 Precepts, your moral compass. In a world full of shortcuts, gray zones, and blurred lines, how do we stay grounded in what's right? In Buddhist teachings, the number 5 symbolizes the 5 precepts, not rigid rules, but compassionate commitments that help us live ethically, peacefully, and consciously. They act like a moral compass, keeping us aligned when the path ahead feels unclear. Here are the 5 precepts. Do not kill. Respect for all life. Do not steal. Honoring what belongs to others. Avoid sexual misconduct. Cultivating respect in relationships. Do not lie. Speaking with truth and kindness. Avoid intoxicants. Keeping the mind clear and awake. How these apply in real life? These precepts aren't just about monks or temple life. They touch everyday moments, small decisions with big karmic ripples. Do not kill is not just about taking lives. It's about valuing all forms of life, avoiding cruelty, respecting animals, even how we speak to others. Do not steal includes stealing time, ideas, or taking credit unfairly at work. Sexual misconduct becomes relevant in how we treat others emotionally. Are we manipulative, dishonest, or careless with hearts? Lying includes gossip, passive-aggressive remarks, or staying silent when truth is needed. Intoxication? Beyond alcohol or drugs, it's about anything that clouds your judgment. Greed, anger, even social media overload. Let me share a story of redemption. Maria, a mother of 3, had spent years drinking heavily to cope with stress. It started with wine on weekends, then nightly, then hiding bottles around the house. She also began telling lies about money, plans, her whereabouts, just to avoid confrontation. Her marriage was crumbling. Her kids didn't trust her. One night after missing her youngest son's school performance, she saw the look in his eyes. It wasn't anger, it was disappointment. That night, she decided to stop. She joined a recovery group. She apologized, truthfully, not defensively. She started saying, "I don't know," when she didn't. "I'm sorry," when she meant it. Months passed. The trust didn't return overnight. But it did return. By committing to truth and sobriety, she rebuilt the very thing her family needed most: faith in her. The lesson. The 5 precepts aren't about perfection. They're about presence. They ask, Are you moving through life with clarity? Are your actions causing harm or healing? And here's the beautiful truth. When we live ethically, the universe responds. Opportunities open, relationships mend, inner peace deepens. That's karmic abundance. Not something you chase, but something you become. So the next time you're faced with a moral crossroad, pause and remember, the number 5 is whispering. Choose clarity, choose kindness, choose truth. Part 5. Number 33, becoming a source of healing and love. Some numbers carry a frequency that feels bigger than life. 33 is one of them. Often referred to as the master healer, the number 33 is associated with compassion, service, unconditional love, and spiritual leadership. It doesn't ask for applause or recognition. Instead, it quietly transforms the world through acts of care, one small gesture at a time. In Buddhist and spiritual traditions, 33 is a vibration, not just a figure. It represents the soul's highest purpose, to heal, to uplift, and to serve without expecting anything in return. Why giving is the ultimate wealth. In a culture obsessed with what can I get, the number 33 flips the question, what can I give? True leadership doesn't come from power, it comes from presence. And healing doesn't always require medicine. Sometimes it's a warm meal, a kind word, or just being there when someone needs you most. Giving isn't depletion, it's circulation. The more you pour out love and care, the more the universe pours it back into your life, in ways you might not even expect. Let me share a story that feeds the soul. Mr. David, 70 years old, wakes up every morning at 4:30 a.m. Not for money, not for a job, but to cook rice and soup for over 50 people in his neighborhood who are homeless or struggling. He doesn't ask for donations, doesn't post on social media, doesn't wear a halo. He just cooks, every single morning. When asked why he does it, he simply says, "I don't have much, but I have enough, and some people have less, so why not?" He doesn't see himself as a healer, but to those who receive that warm meal, he is. One young man who used to sleep near the train station once said, "That bowl of soup reminded me that I wasn't invisible." That's the power of 33, healing through presence, not performance. What can you offer today? You don't need to cook for 50 people, but maybe you can call someone who's lonely. Maybe you can volunteer an hour a week. Maybe you can smile more, listen better, judge less. The number 33 invites you to lead with heart, not ego. To heal not just yourself, but others. To step into service, not because you have to, but because it's who you are. Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. The Buddha. You are that candle. The lesson. Giving doesn't drain you. It deepens you. And when you live a life of service, you stop asking, "What am I missing?" and start realizing, "I already have so much to give." Let the number 33 remind you. You don't need to be rich to be generous. You just need to care. Part 6. Number 3. Embracing the 3 jewels and living in balance. The number 3 may seem simple, but in Buddhism, it carries foundational meaning. It represents the 3 jewels. The Buddha, the awakened one, our example of enlightenment. The Dharma, the teachings that illuminate our path. The Sangha, the community that supports our growth. These are the 3 cornerstones of the spiritual journey. Together, they form a sacred triangle of guidance, wisdom, and belonging. But beyond its spiritual depth, the number 3 also reminds us of something deeply practical. The importance of balance between body, mind, and spirit. work, rest, and reflection, outer achievement and inner peace, the struggle to stay balanced. In our fast-paced world, life often becomes a pendulum swing, rushing from work stress to family demands, from productivity obsession to burnout. We're always on, but rarely present. We chase success, but lose ourselves along the way. The number 3 calls us back. It whispers, slow down, breathe. Balance is where peace begins. Let me share a story of rediscovery. Linda, 64, had spent her life climbing ladders, career, family, volunteering. She was the person who always said yes, the one who never rested. By the time she retired, she felt empty. No schedule, no noise, just silence, and it scared her. But instead of filling that silence with distractions, she tried something new. She embraced it. She joined a local meditation group, started reading Dharma books, took morning walks without her phone. She discovered a quiet joy in doing less, but feeling more. One day she shared in her group, I used to measure my worth by how much I got done. Now I measure it by how present I am in what I'm doing. Her days became slower, but fuller. She no longer chased the moment. She lived in it, the wisdom of the 3 jewels in daily life. Buddha reminds us to believe in our own potential for awakening. Dharma shows us the way when we feel lost. Sangha reminds us we're never walking alone. Together they help us rebalance, not just spiritually, but practically. So ask yourself, are you giving your inner world as much attention as your outer success? Are you surrounded by people who nourish your spirit or drain your energy? When was the last time you were fully present with yourself? The lesson: harmony is the highest form of wealth. When life is in balance, when you're connected to purpose, supported by community, and grounded in wisdom, everything flows more naturally. The number 3 isn't about doing more. It's about living fully, mindfully, and in rhythm with what matters most. So as you continue your journey, let this sacred number remind you, peace is not found in perfection, it's found in balance. Part 7. Meditation Practices for a Spiritually Rich Month. As April unfolds, it's the perfect time to refresh your inner world and invite calm, clarity, and purpose into each day. Meditation isn't about emptying the mind. It's about coming home to yourself. Here are 5 simple practices to nourish your spirit. 1. Visualization. Meditation. Close your eyes. Picture your goals, healing, abundance, peace, as already real. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. Buddha. 2. Mindfulness meditation. Sit quietly. Focus on your breath. When thoughts arise, notice them without judgment. Feelings come and go like clouds. Conscious breathing is my anchor. Thich Nhat Hanh. 3. Letting go meditation. Imagine your worries as leaves on a stream. Watch them float away. Attachment is the origin of suffering. Dalai Lama. 4. Loving kindness meditation. Silently say, may I be happy. May you be safe. May all beings feel peace. This softens anger and expands the heart. 5. Nature connection. Meditation, sit in a garden or by a tree. Feel the ground beneath you. Listen to the wind. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Lao Tzu. Tips for seniors and beginners. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Sit on a chair if needed. Use soft music or guided audios. The goal isn't perfection, it's presence. Let April be the month you begin again, gently, mindfully, with love. As we close this journey through the 6 sacred numbers, remember, these aren't just digits. They're mirrors of your potential, symbols of wisdom, and reminders of what truly matters. Number 9 called you to complete what was unfinished. Number 8 showed you how to walk the path with purpose. Number 7 awakened your inner clarity. Number 5 brought you back to ethics and integrity. Number 33 reminded you of your power to heal others. And number 3 taught you the peace found in balance. But here's the real secret. True wealth doesn't come from luck. It comes from alignment. When your thoughts, actions, and intentions flow with compassion and clarity, you become magnetic to joy, to peace, to abundance. So take these teachings with you. Practice one small thing today. Meditate, forgive, speak kindly, give without needing a return, and watch how life begins to open up in ways far richer than any lottery prize ever could. If this message touched you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep walking this path of wisdom together.